Alright, so today we're going to have a little lying down time to think about playing fast. Puts me in mind of a story that I heard once from one of my Alexandria technique teachers about a skier whose training involved, like a downhill Olympic skier, right? Whose training involved going into a hyperbaric chamber with a recording, listening to a recording of ski slope announcers talking about how bad the conditions are getting. And the point was that in the hyperbaric chambers, it's dark, it's warm, it's comfortable, he could just float there and totally relax and listen to these recordings and practice not reacting. And that's pretty much the basic skill, the fundamental skill in learning how to play really fast. Because what can happen is, I have to play fast now. That's the stimulus, and then you get tight. And what we really want to do is dissociate the stimulus and the response a bit. The pause, having the magic pause in between the stimulus and response. And so that's one thing that we can do. I have a couple other ideas, but let's start there. So first, here we are. You can sense your body on the floor, letting yourself rest. And just noticing the space in your body and around your body. And just bring up the thought of, I'm going to play fast right now. And notice what happens in your body when you just think about that. I'm going to play fast right now. And then let go of the thought. And just sense your hands and your feet, the movements of breathing. And again, bring up that thought. I gotta play fast right now. And what do you notice happen? Do you get tighter, freer? Is there something happening in your gut? Maybe that's where I notice it. My gut gets a little bit tighter when I think about that. Or maybe your jaw clenches, or your hands, or pelvis, or your breathing stops a little bit. Here comes that fast part. And then let go of that. Taking in your visual field, even if your eyes are closed. Letting the sensations of your body resolve into a cloud, pressure, of temperature, of movement. And so this time, let's bring up this thought again, and then do the pause, where you just wait for that anticipatory tension to subside. So it would go like this. I'm going to play fast right now, pause, and then you just notice that anticipatory tension, that first blip of attention come up and then subside. And you just wait for that. So let's do that again. I'm going to play fast right now, and just notice that when that anticipatory tension comes up, and just watch it, just observe it. Maybe it'll take a moment or two to subside. Just letting yourself breathe gently. And don't rush it. If it sticks around for a while, just notice that. Let's do that one more time. So I'm going to play fast right now, and then just watch that anticipatory tension come up and subside. So once it's subsided, that's when you might actually do the thing. Play a fast passage or run fast or whatever it is. So let's do this in a little activity. Just tapping your fingers on your thumb. Just your first finger, middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, just going back and forth. So just do that once just to get used to what that might feel like, whatever pattern works for you. And then let's pause again. So we have this activity, tapping fingers on the thumb. We're going to do it really, really fast. And when I say go, we're not going to do it quite yet. We're going to pause, do that same pause, and wait for the anticipatory tension to subside, and then do it. Okay, so here we go. So go, tap your fingers really fast, pause. Right, we're not doing it quite yet, waiting for that anticipatory tension to subside, and then you tap your fingers really fast. Okay, great, and then let's stop there. So again, I'm going to say go, pause. And you wait for that anticipatory tension to subside, and then you do it. So here we go. Go, pause. And only when that tension has subsided, then you tap your fingers really fast. Okay. So that's one basic approach. If you don't take into account that anticipatory tension, that first response to the stimulus, I have to play fast right now, or I want to play fast right now, then you're going to carry that tension with you, and of course that's going to slow you down. It's also going to interfere with the coordination of your limbs. So that's a really important place to start. So again, let's come back to sensing the space inside the body and outside the body for just a moment. Another important approach is this improvisation approach to practicing that I've talked about before. If you have a passage that you're playing and you want to play it very quickly, oftentimes just going straight through it from beginning to end is not the best approach. It can produce kind of a fragile sequence of movement. And it's easy to get stopped up on that. It's kind of like too much water pressure in a hose, or like too much traffic on a highway gets stopped up. When you're trying to do that same thing over and over and over. And I find this myself, that like I'll hesitate unnecessarily at times when I'm doing this, or I'll just somehow forget it. It's like the neurons get tired or something. And so to prevent that, you just improvise with the notes in that passage. You start low, you maybe make a scale with them first. You start low and then go high to the highest note in the passage, and then you just mix and match. And make real phrases out of it, make real music out of these improvisations. And the great thing about this, you get more and more familiar with the notes, and it becomes easier and easier to play. And that's really what we want here. The point of practicing, the way to play fast is to make it so easy. So easy, so familiar. One of the things that miscoordinates our bodies when playing fast is it's like running downhill and where at that point where you're going faster than you can keep yourself upright. It's like sometimes when you're playing too fast, it's like you're getting out ahead of yourself, and then your brain can't coordinate your movements quickly enough. But by getting really, really familiar in a non-linear way with the material, you're showing your brain, like, here are the notes, here's this other note, or this move, or that gesture, or word, or whatever it might be, and just like, here it is, and here's the next one, and here's the next one, and here's this other one over there, and it's like being blindfolded, finding your way around the room. How do you find your way around the room blindfolded? Well, you just go over it lots of different ways with your hands, and you find this, and you go to the other part of the room, and in that way you get to know the room really, really well, even though you're blindfolded. So I really like that approach as well. I think there might be one more idea. Let's take another moment to just rest. Spacious awareness. Let's see if I can remember that. Yeah, well, maybe the final thought is just kind of putting these two things together, or just one more thing to think about is probably the most important quality to have in playing fast is effortlessness. It can feel like using more effort, trying hard, is what's going to get us there to playing fast. But of course, this tension just gets in the way. You can think about a hummingbird flapping its wings so fast. If you see slowed down video of the hummingbird, it's so fluid. It doesn't look like the hummingbird is really trying, And there's that there's a video of Jesse Owens running the 100-meter dash in the 1936 Olympics. Right, and he's way out ahead of everybody else, and he's running just so smoothly. So when you're playing fast or moving fast, probably the most important quality to look for is effortlessness. How soft can you be in your body? How soft? How gentle? Let's imagine playing something really fast and having your body be as soft as a baby's. And the song is just kind of like zipping by. That's the kind of quality we want. I did remember this one last thing, and then we'll end. So another lens on this is the doing mode versus the receiving mode. I've talked about this in the past too. The doing mode is kind of what trying hard feels like. Feels like the center of yourself is inside your head, looking out your eyes, and that's the source of movement and agency, and you act upon the world. You act upon your violin or your fencing sword or or whatever it is that you're moving fast, or your pen or whatever it is. And it can be very effortful to move in the world that way. So let's do another little movement exploration here. Bring your two thumbs together in front of you And then your two first finger to middle finger, ring finger, pinky finger, and just go back and forth very quickly, getting the fingertips to line up just so. And think about like doing it fast and doing it right. And just notice like which way is your head moving? Is it moving towards your hands or away from your hands? Is your body getting tighter or freer? If you notice that your head is moving towards your hand and your body is getting tighter, you know you're in the doing mode. So the remedy for the doing mode is the receiving mode. Receiving mode feels more open, more spacious. And you can even just do the same movement. Think of receiving your fingertips, receiving your hands, doing this movement, almost as if somebody else was doing it and you were just watching. Remaining open in yourself, receiving yourself in the room as this movement just happens. All by itself, seemingly without any involvement from you. Does your body get tighter or freer? Does your head move towards your hands or away? If your body's getting freer and your head is moving away from your hands, more or less, that's the receiving mode. All right, so let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Just let them out slowly. Yeah, and then we can be done.